What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone. Yeah, we're live. I mean, YouTube is a mess the last couple of days, but we're live. We're live the day after probably the best game in, I don't know, months and months, I'm assuming. Not result-wise in terms of like we had maybe like better results if that, I don't know, like actually results, score wise, because it was 1-0, but it's how we got to that 1-0 that probably was the best game of the season. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit also at the end about Roma, because that's our next opponent on Saturday evening. And then we're going to talk about, individual stuff surrounding the club at this moment in time, maybe a bit about the potential sale or not, whatever, but definitely focus on yesterday's game. First off, Norbert, how are you? How are you doing today? I always ask these questions, and I cannot remember getting like a very positive response. So I'll give it another go now.
No. For me, it was perfect yesterday. My local team beat the unbeaten Ferencváros in the Europa Liga. They are unbeaten. They are fourth. And my local team back in Hungary, Debrecen, they just beat them, and they are ahead of them in the league now, which is insane. So yeah, and also Juve won with a quite I don't know. It was finally I felt calm watching the team. I didn't feel like we're gonna ruin this one. It was really nice. So yeah, I woke up really actually happy today. So yeah.
I mean, the only I tweeted out in the first half, I was like, if we don't win this game, we're gonna rewatch the first half, and we're gonna say, excuse me, well, this is why we didn't win the game, and we will talk about that. It's still an issue. Again, it's one game, it's one off, because a couple of days ago we played Pafos and we looked like the way Pafos should be looking, if that makes sense. It was a complete day and night shift in performance, and like, forget about performance in terms of like quality because against Pafos, technically it was a disaster. Every single player up at one point on the pitch was messing up, things. It's just the mindset, I think, was the big difference maker yesterday, because for once I saw a team, like, for once this season, throughout 90 minutes, I saw a team that worked together, attacked together, defended together, pressed together, like everything. Like, it wasn't like loose sand. Somebody goes attacking, some goes pressing, excuse me, nobody tracking back. We worked as a unit completely for 90 minutes for the first time in ages, and Spalletti post game said, I saw it in training, I saw more energy. He said, I told the directors, or like the management, because they were in training sessions, etc. I said, I saw something completely different this week for the first time. I saw everybody extremely committed, which begs the question, why were they not really committed previously? But again, let's forget about that for 1 second right now. And yeah, I think that's the big takeaway of that game for me personally, unless you have another big takeaway. But for me, it was that throughout 90 minutes, maybe some individuals had a lesser game, Cambiasso, for example, which you will get maybe in a second. But if you look big picture, 11 or whoever come on as a sub as well, they all played as a unit, and that just made the difference for us beating for the first time. I don't know if you watched a live show. Oh, you were on the live show when I looked up those stats. It's for the first time in a very long time that we beat a team away from home.
Yeah, from the first second, you could feel the energy, how it was. Like, you could see that we want to win, and it's unfortunately really rare these days that you could see. And yeah, this is how we should always start the games, and this is how we should finish. The only bad thing I saw, Openda, this is a returning issue with Openda for me, that his energy looks off a little bit, but within a few minutes you could see that he also got into the rhythm, and he also showed what the other players showing, that he wants to win. And yeah, he definitely played one of his best games, I feel. And yeah, we're gonna talk about it, but Cambiasso is should not start. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we will get that in a second because well, maybe naturally it won't start on Saturday. We will
Yeah,
talk about that in a second. But like Camiasso, we will get to there. Also, David Openda, we will get to them as well in a sec. But um, probably a stupid question because um, I think nobody has an answer on that. Maybe you have a theory. How come that you play that game against Paphos on Wednesday? It was especially that first half, like the entire game, but especially that first half when you get booed at halftime and like
yeah,
you should have been down a goal or two against Paphos at home. How do you go from that, from that performance to this performance we put out on Bologna? Because a lot of players who started against Bologna started against Paphos as well.
yeah,
It wasn't that we made 8 changes or something. Like a lot of players just started the 2 games, and they look like completely different players out there. So how do you explain that? Is that really as basic as like Spalletti said? I saw a different like attitude vibe in training. Then isn't that like even though it's a positive that we put in that performance, isn't it also extremely worrying that they can switch it
yes.
on and off just purely based on, I don't know, their mood or like on the
Yeah,
day? I don't
like
know.
which Juventus we're gonna see this next weekend against Roma? Like we're gonna see this one who played against Bologna, or we're gonna see the Paphos one? And yeah, it's worrying. What changed? What they talked about it, like between each other, like the team, because we didn't hear anything that there was a big I don't know, meeting and la la la. So I don't know what changed. That's the only thing I can think of, is that they were speaking, and
They
finally
spoke,
something changed in them. I don't know.
they spoke like the comment here saying that Paphos defended with 11 and Bologna attacked more. Yes, but like we lost possession without Paphos even putting pressure on us like many times.
Yes.
That's one. And
Yeah.
two, we also play teams that play high. Like we played Como and we got played off the park away to Como. We couldn't string up 2-3 passes to get yesterday on a technical level up to the final third, where we will get into a second as well. It was very good, the movement, because Como gave us space, but we had no clue what to do with that space. Yes, it was Tudor,
Yeah.
but like whatever. We play teams who give us, space, but we don't know what to do with that space. As we do not know what to do when they set back. I agree, but yesterday for the first time, like that goal that got disallowed, that was good. The ball where Conceição was scared to put out his feet, that was good. But like there were many of those occasions where we just with 2-3 simple touches, we completely outplayed Bologna and we were in and around the box very quickly instead of just, playing it
Yeah.
sideways and losing possession. It was different. It looked more structured.
Yeah, the mentality was completely different. Like it doesn't matter if how Paphos play or how Bologna plays. The mentality was the key from the first second. That was the key. If you cannot tell me that against a small team now we're not gonna create chances with this mentality. There is no way. Like if we can continue like this, then we can achieve bigger things than what we expected earlier, I think.
I mean, like actually for me it's worrying, but I hope is as simple as, well, they changed their mindset, they finally got it. But I think that's
Yeah.
oh my god, what a save. I think that would be also worried. Like I mean, not worrying, but like that would be great that they they switch it up right now, and they finally have an idea how to play football. And from now on, we are going to get those type of performances. Even though we might not win all the games, it's going to be energetic. It's going to be with a purpose. Like all these things, could potentially happen. That's fantastic. That's good as well. But I think it's much deeper than that. For example, Kelly played an unbelievable game. Unbelievable. I forgot the name of the attacker of Bologna.
Yeah, no idea.
I'm sorry, I blanked it
But
out. I knew it because I just
yeah,
read it out again.
if Kelly was amazing. Like if he can
But do you
play
think
against
yeah,
big
that's the question.
physical, yeah, I think against big physical defenders he can play like this. My big question is what about attackers who are fast and can move around, and that can be a problem against Bremen as well, because I feel like we are set to be good against these bigger guys, stronger guys, and if we need to be physical, that's not going to be a problem. But the big question is against fast dudes.
Yeah, because he absolutely that was, I think, by far his best game. At the club, even though he scored goals in a couple of games at the start of the season, he looked okay. I think this time he was like dominating, like completely dominating. And some might say, oh, it's that type of attacker, or that attacker who knows him. I get it, but like he struggled against, players we probably do not know, with all due respect, So I was surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I was surprised. Darling, that's his name. I was surprised. I was really surprised. I was going into the game. I wasn't going because I didn't do a preview because I couldn't make it. But my mindset going into the game was like, I don't think we're gonna lose, but I think it's gonna be an extremely ugly game. Where we just come out of it with a point, and we're like, it's just not helpful at all. Another, completely poor performance. But I'm not also going overboard, because this can be a one-off. Like there's no proof. Like there's actually more proof that is a one-off than this going to be the norm, for this team.
Yeah.
The proof is out there that we're very inconsistent. Also because Spalletti said it. It's like training this group is like sitting on a roller coaster. It's up and down. We get it, we don't get it. It's good, it's bad. And at the end of the day, that's the only proof we have out there. Excuse me. So we cannot assume that we go into that Roma game and we put in the same type of focus performance. I would like focus, because I don't think you're gonna dominate Bologna. You're not gonna push them back like you did Bologna throughout 90 minutes, but a focus performance where you just look in control-ish throughout 90 minutes. I think that's going to be extremely difficult against Roma. But if we do that against Roma, the stretch of games we have after that is favorable. With all due respect, that is like beating Bologna away from home, beating Roma should be an insane boost for the squad to say, you know what, we're gonna kick on right now, because we have, I don't know who we have, like Lecce, Pisa, like those type of opponents where you are like, as Juve, you must, you must be beating these teams on a consistent basis, So, I mean, it's I don't know, like it could be like a season-defining week for us. I don't know if you agree, because Spalletti said that when we played Napoli, and I was like, that's too soon, in my opinion, But this week, with the fixtures coming up as well, it could be season-defining. I don't know if you agree with that, but
yeah, because if we win now, then it's a good like a good series. At that point we won 3 games in a row, 2 of them against better teams of the Serie A, and after that we have a lot smoother sailing for like 5 games, 5-6 games. It's like the bottom half of the table. So yeah, I think this is it. This is the real season-defining moment, because if we are not winning against Rome, we can maybe we're gonna we just decide, okay, whatever, and then we're not gonna win all those games, and then that's a problem. So yeah.
I agree. Like Bologna played on Thursday, and they don't have the biggest of squad. But does anyone trust this team? Like going into it, using that for us, I don't. I don't think that, because if that's the case, then we should have been beating a lot of teams. Last rest,
It was,
etc.
but it was the mentality how we played, not how Bologna played. In my eyes,
I think that was a big
uh,
difference. Like
yeah,
Bologna were not good on the day. Like let's not kid
yeah.
ourselves; they were not good. But I think big part of that was the way we played as well. Like we made them look completely out of place, at home. Again, going away to, I know Cremonese won there, but like it's Bologna. At the end of the day, they will lose game, but against big teams, they show up at home. They do. They really show up. They make it tough for a lot of big teams going there, So um again, like for me, it was more about the way we played rather than Bologna. Let's hope we keep it up, and Spalletti won't come up with another brilliant idea against his ex team like he did against uh, Napoli. I don't think he will do that again, because he admitted he was wrong. That he made a mistake. So I'm assuming he's never going to do that. Otherwise, that will be very strange if he's going to keep doing that. Let's move on to the Cambiaso topic, because if you need to single out a player who played poor, it was Cambiaso yet again. It's not one of his worst games. It was just not a good game for him, compared to the others. In the intro, we talked about it, and we said, you said he wasn't good. So now the question is, will he get benched against Roma? If not Roma, the following weeks, because for the simple reason that Bremer is back. Yes, he needs to get his minutes, but he's going to start. Then you have Kelly, who, and if we move to a back four, I'm talking, it's probably going to be Kelly that's going to play alongside him. Kalulu plays every single minute. Like literally, he's playing every single minute. It's actually unreal what he's doing right now. I see he's getting a lot of stick. I don't agree with that. I think
no, like Kalulu is playing. Like when you don't speak about a defender, that's a good sign. And you don't really talk about Kalulu, or you should not talk about Kalulu. Like he's not making big.
But
mistakes.
he has been talked about. I find it strange. Like,
yeah,
you know what it is? Can you improve on a lot of players in the squad? Yes.
Yeah.
Like, yes, he can, but so can many players. But like you said, like he shouldn't be talking. Like he's being asked to do things that he's not going to shine in it. Like he's not, like it is what it is. It's going to look basics in certain moments of the game, but he's doing a job, so he's going to play. On the other side, and this comment, he can get benched because he's still miles better than Cabal and Kostic. I don't rate Cabal. He scored, good. But I will tell you, for free, if Cabal is fit, he's Spalletti's number one over Cambiaso. I'll tell you that for free. He is the first choice. If Cabal is fit, because he's not fit right now. He cannot play 90 minutes. But if he gets his fitness up, he is the number one choice. If you think he's better than Cambiaso or not, to Gio, fine. That's a different debate. But for Spalletti, I'm 100% convinced. The way he speaks about him, the way, even if he messes up, he keeps giving him minutes, etc. Very soon, he will be the number one choice. He will.
If Cambiaso plays like this, I just have a problem with Cabal and the 4-man defense. With a 3-man defense, I don't mind. But 4-man, I kind of, he can't defend too well.
And again, this scope thing, Gio, no. Like he got cooked again yesterday. But like the moment an attacker is, or the moment his opponent is a bit, movable. I don't know how to, like like a bit tacky, can move. He looks out of place. I'm sorry. Like he's done a job-ish, Colt Miners, but no, I want players who can play that position naturally. And I do not rate Cabal defensively. I'm not gonna sit here and say I do. I'm not a fan of Cabal. But Colt Miners played 2 times now against players who are a bit tacky, against Bologna or Solini, and against Neres and Napoli, and he got cooked. He's suspended for Roma, by the way, as well. because he was getting cooked. He can, like, if you play him against Pisa at home, fine, if you want to do that. But if you play against good opponents who have players, who have some pace and have some tech, you cannot play Cope in that position. I'm not saying you can play Cabal in that position, but I've seen Cope more this season than Cabal doing it, and Cope cannot do that because he's not good in that area specifically. I hope he doesn't get benched. He's prime Maldini compared to Cabal and Kostic. Who are we talking about?
Cambiasso, I guess.
What are we talking? Cambiasso? Cambiasso has been extremely poor. I'm like, you know what it is? Also next, no, I don't want to see Koop Miners next to Bremer in the back line. I'm sorry. And I'm not a fan of Kelly, but I'd rather have Kelly there than Koop Miners. We didn't pay 60 million to do that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In my opinion. On Cambiasso as well, like, even, here is the comment as well. Spalletti came out and he said that, like, he struggles against certain opponents as well. He was being nice, but if you read the entire quote and you watch the interview, he was basically telling he's just struggling, Cambiasso, period. He's not playing well. He's just not playing well. He hasn't played well in over the year. And yesterday, again, he looked the only one out of place, really out of place. I don't think Koop Miners had a good game, but compared to Cambiasso, he had a good game. He's not impactful. I know he had that assist against McKennie, for McKennie against Paphos, but he's not being impactful. He's a bit unreliable. His passing is off. Like, he made some odd decisions as well. I mean, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good. It's irrelevant what we paid. He needs to play in his best suited position. He's been our worst midfielder for the last 2 seasons. For me, he's either at the back or the bench. Then it's the bench. I do care what we pay. We pay 60 million euros, not for an average defender. We didn't pay 60 million euros then. Then I'd rather have a player in Kelly, who I'm also not a fan of, but is a defender. Like, he actually played defender his entire career, not about 20 games at AZ. Then he's on the bench. It's as simple as that. For me, it's as simple as that. I've watched him get cooked by Orsolini and Neres. We all watched it, not just me. We all watched it happen. So it cannot happen again. And maybe Cabal plays and he gets cooked. Who knows? I do not know. But I've seen Koop Miners getting cooked. So that is not the answer in those type of matches. It's not. It's not, and again, trying to revive his career is all good and well. I get it. But that shouldn't go against what, like, the squad you build, basically. So you're forcing Koop Miners in that position. Then what about the other players? Indeed. Like, are you going to move them out because you want to revive a 60 million euro players? At one point, you just need to accept then he's a flop. You don't need to, you need to, how do you want to say that? Like, compromise the squad, in my opinion. You take him over Kelly, I think that's compromising the squad. For me, that's compromising the squad. Alongside Bremer, I think Kelly will be fine. Fine enough.
Kelly, left-footed, and he's playing out of his boots, I think, compared to what we expected and how he played last year. So,
yeah,
for me, Kelly's a starter.
For me, as well, like, you start the defenders, in my opinion. I watched the Roma game, and but Roma are not coming to the stadium to attack. Be sure of that. They're not gonna come to the stadium and attack us from minute one. I don't see that happening. But if they leave space, if Wesley leaves space, then Koop Miners can have a field day with that one. Let me see. Koop got cooked in the other games as well. But for his first mediocre sides, you can get cooked and get away with it. Against better teams, it's more obvious. It's more in your face that he is getting cooked. For me, Cambiasso is our best player compared to those who are in this position, unfortunately. Maybe Cambiasso is our best player, but I think that's just because we haven't really seen a lot of Cabal, I guess. But I mean, he's been poor. You need to do something. You just cannot assume, but the others are worse. You need to send a message. Are you going to just let him be poor and get away with it? Like,
he needs to play on the right. He needs to play on the right.
Yeah, but we're not going to bench Kalulu.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not going to happen.
He
We're
needs
not
to
going
play
to
on the
do it.
right,
So.
but Kalulu right now is pretty solid. So
Kelly has been consistent in the left for me. He should be our starting left center back alongside Bremer. Give credit to Kelly. If Cope was just a little quicker, he could be useful as a CB against a decent squad. But like this, he's just so slow. Yeah, his movement, his turns are a bit off, you know.
and his positioning, he's not a defender. I'm sorry, he can't think of like as a defender. He just can't position himself as a defender.
I kind of agree. Like for a job here and there, yes. But you know, you got exposed 2 games. It's as simple as that, you know. And at the end of the day, I'm not sure about Cabal, but he is by nature a player in that position as well. So Cambiaso hasn't been good on the right either. Yeah, I think against Cremonese was a good game, and that's about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
And we all thought this is it, but this is not it. So I do agree with you. Roma game and final, either we close the gap to 1 point or go to 7 points. Yeah, we need to absolutely win that. We absolutely need to win that. I think Cabal was all right yesterday. Yeah, he was okay, but we played against 10 men Bologna at that point. So, I mean, that was helpful. You know, that was very helpful as well. Deserved, by the way. Like, also credit to us because we forced that red card because we outplayed him. And that goes credit to us. Credit to Openda who actually shielded that ball perfectly and you know created that all kind of not out of nowhere, but like he created that red card. So that was good as well. That's one problem, like issue, I guess, or talking point for Spalletti to figure out in the next couple of days, weeks, depending on who will be fit enough to get that start. The other one is twofold. It's Jonathan David and Openda, and then the final third play. Let's start with the final third play because we said it in our intro. If we don't win that game, it was probably because of that first half, and it was because of our final third play. It's still not good enough. Yesterday was even worse because we got in so many good positions, like multiple times. Like other games, it's 1, 2, 3 times. Yesterday, it kept coming at one point, and we kept making the wrong decisions, like the wrong pass, too hard, too soft. An extra touch, a heavy touch. Or Conceição didn't want to stick out his foot. Like at one point, whatever we did, it was all perfect until that final pass, and then everyone decided to have a blackout, which is weird. Because the build up to that, final third last pass was good on a technical level. And then like the decision making at the end was completely off yet again. And it was everyone. I cannot really blame one player because all of them made the wrong decisions in the final third. So what is it? Because clearly, like Yulis, David, Panda, Zegrova, who wasn't playing, obviously, but Vlahovic, Conceição, they have quality. Like, they've more than enough quality all between them to be better in the final third. It's not that we're playing with, I don't know, like, who did we had in the past, a very long time ago, where it's like, yeah, I mean, what are you expecting? You have those players up top. It is what it is. They have more than enough quality to do much, much better. But for some reason, they kind of choke in the final third. And I thought about it, and I have no explanation for it. Because the explanation, if they were not good enough, and we didn't rate them at all, I mean, then easy. They're not good enough. They just, technically, they're extremely poor, but they're not extremely poor. They all have technical ability. So what is the reason for those heavy touches, those wrong decisions, etc.? Like, what happens when they are in the final third?
So let's go step by step. First, we had issues with even getting into those positions. Now we're getting into those positions, just step by step. Next time, the next progression will be that we actually gonna do something with those balls. So yeah, I don't know. Like I cannot say anything smart here. I believe it will come. It's just we were not even getting into those positions up until now, and now this is the next step. And whether they can make it or no, let's see. But um, yeah, they have to, because we need to score. We scored like what, 24 goals or something. Really, really not much. Um, so yeah, we need to start scoring goals, because that is sad.
I mean, there are two different opinions right now, Openda and David and Gio, um, on the penalty decisions, etc. I don't speak about it because the club doesn't speak about it. It's as simple as that. Like, it's a waste of
Yeah.
time. The club accepts these things. They keep accepting these things. So as a fan, I'm gonna not waste my energy. If the club is not willing to defend the club, then I'm not gonna do it. I just don't have the time for it nor the energy. Yes, it was a pen. It was ridiculous. You know, a pen, I was watching Dazan. They said, "Oh, he pushed with one hand. It was an ex-ref, so that's okay." I'm like, that's not a rule. I'm pretty sure about that. And then on Sky, which is the complete opposite of Dazan, they were cooking him, saying that's ridiculous. And the rule actually stated one hand or two hand, it doesn't matter. And there was a ref for Lukumi. But if the club accepts these things, then I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm not gonna do it. If the club thinks it's okay and they want to be the nice guy, fine. But when this happens to Napoli and Inter, De Laurentiis is out there. It happened this season. They're all out there at the end giving an interview saying this is not okay. But the club wants to be the nice guy, and suffer the consequences. Lazio, Verona, they accepted that, and we dropped points for no good reason at all. On Openda, one comment is saying, I watched Roma. We can't play Openda. Indica will cook him. We need to play David for the physicality. And then someone else is saying, for me, Openda should get the start against Roma, or that David is getting cooked by Roma. So complete opposite opinion on those two players and situation. Spalletti said Openda is more suited to Bologna. Space, can run, and etc. And he's also saying David is better because he drops in, can hold up play. He is a bit more physical. And when I watched that, I was like, the two games, of both players, I'm like, okay, it's going to be Openda. The way he played, I did watch Roma today, and I'm like, it's going to be David. I listened to Spalletti's presser. It's going to be David who gets that start. I don't think he was poor yesterday, David. But his final third, that last pass, like, he was a big reason why we were not 1-0 up in that first half.
Yeah.
Because in the first 30 minutes, he had 2-3 opportunities in around the box to lay it off, or send somebody through, or take a shot, and every single time he made the wrong decision, which is a shame because I don't think he was horrible. The build up, the hold up, etc. But in the box, it looked clumsy. It looks very wasteful, which is weird because at Lille he was very good in the box. It was clean. And now it was bouncing off his shin, off his feet too many times in, key moments where it's like, okay, now it needs to happen. The shot, the pass, etc. It bounced off and it went nowhere. So for me, that was very frustrating. I don't know what you think, but I do believe he's going to get the start against Roma now after Spalletti's presser.
Yeah, they need to figure it out during practice, and then let's see. It doesn't matter for me. Both players have issues that they need to resolve. They need to score more. They are different players, so it can be a tactical decision as well. For me, whoever the coach selects, I don't mind. They need to figure it out. I would personally start David. And then let's see. And if he's bad or something, let's just sub him off halftime or something. But yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I just hope they start scoring a lot more goals, because both of them cost a lot of money. Like Openda costs a lot, a transfer fee, but also David's wages are high. So they need to figure it out. They need to play better.
So, like, someone saying Dika goes to AFCON. Yes, I thought on Sky they said that, but I read an article that they agreed that he could stay for the game against Juve. So I'm not even sure what to believe right now, because I think Manu convinced the national team to let Buemo and Diallo stay as well for the next game. And I saw that for Indica as well, but I could be wrong, because on Sky during the game they also said he's leaving, but then an article stated something completely different. So I'm not sure about that. There's a heavy pressure when you know the opportunity might be the only one you get in the whole game. Our strikers need better service. I think he had good service yesterday.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I agree with the overall point you make, where it's like, yes, it's pressure if you only have one chance a game and you don't take it. But I don't think really that was the issue yesterday. Ali Norbert, I have an interesting question. Do you agree that this job for Spalletti is harder in his career due to the mental weakness of the team? Yes, and also the pressure and mid-season. It probably is. There wasn't a lot of pressure when he took over Napoli or Roma. I mean, the pressure is always there, but it's not like coaching Juve. So yes,
it's Juventus middle of the season. In our situation, like, I agree. Yeah, I think it's their hardest. It's his hardest job.
I do agree. But he's not scared of that. He said it multiple times. You know, he's embracing it, and he's going with it. So.
If anyone, he can succeed because he has the experience as well, and he won won with Napoli. So
I agree. I do agree. Okay, final topic before we leave, because I have an early morning in a couple of hours. Forget about Roma, the preview. We will talk about that probably maybe during the week. The takeover, really quickly, because we haven't spoken about it. The offer, the obviously rejection of the club, I don't know. I thought the painful video Alcom put out, where he was actually reading off the text. You can see he was reading it off. Like, somebody told me, no, he wasn't reading. You can literally see him read, off the things that he probably didn't even write, because if you know what you want to say, you don't, read out. You just go out there in front of the camera like I do, and you speak, I don't prep anything, like, as well. And it might look unprofessional, but everything I say is on the moment. I mean it, It was a written out statement. In the final part, it's strong. It's clickbait, credit to him to put that out there, saying our values and Juve, etc. It's not for sale. All those things. But I mean, it's not that the offer was 200 million, where it's like insulting, etc. Obviously, it was not going to sell. Like, when the news came out, I was like, he's not going to sell. I think it's just to put some more pressure, and the pressure is on. Like, if we don't keep winning, and like the fans know, there's somebody who wants to invest a lot of money, and you're keeping messing about, then the pressure gets on and on and on and on, and at one point it will break, I guess. I didn't like ex-players coming out, and obviously they're going to speak about it, like Buffon saying these things. Like, I have nothing against them being the owners of the club. I'm not even saying that they should be selling. Actually, I never said that once when that bid came in, because, again, it's good to have a stable ownership. However, I think we reached a point where he needs to accept help, and he needs to accept that maybe there needs to be a change, a little bit, because he cannot keep, like, he invested 600 plus millions in the last, 6-7 years to balance out the books. I mean, at one point, some family members or ex-shareholders are going to say, buddy, like, you're messing about. And my fear is that once that happens and they stop doing it, we will get worse, just because they are incompetent to get things right. I also do not like when people say, oh, but he was there when we were winning 9. No, he wasn't there. He was there by name, Exor. He's there. But he wasn't there at the club. He wasn't telling, oh, now I'm going to say Giuntoli, now I'm going to pick Comoli. That was not him. It was his nephew. It was Agnelli, and he was running the show. He was running the show. He was making every single decision at the club. Period. Is as simple as that. I don't think he wants, even when he signed Ronaldo, I don't think he called up John Elkann and said, can I sign Ronaldo? I'm pretty sure he said, that opportunity is there, we're going to sign Ronaldo. And then he probably called John Elkann saying, we're going to sign Ronaldo. That's it.
Yeah.
It's a complete different thing to say, oh, but he was there when we were winning 9, excuse me. Yeah, he was there, so was I. But he wasn't making any decisions. It was somebody else who was competent and knew what he was doing at the time. That's as simple as that. So for me, I'm not pissed that he's not selling. I'm not pissed. I'm not that type of person. But what I'm pissed about is that he's discarding it completely, basically saying that, oh my God, these guys, they have 10% in the club, plus 10% in the club. It's not that, I don't know, like I need to make something up, Amazon came out of the nowhere, like, and said, we want to buy the club. And you're like, what? No, they're already in the club and they made an offer. And I think Elkann looked at it and he feels disrespected a little bit. And the way that answer was formulated as well, it also feels like a shot towards them. We're not for sale, etc. But it's not a good look when you have shareholders fighting each other. Like, it makes no sense to me as well. It's completely unhelpful.
Yeah,
it's completely unhelpful.
My issue is exactly that he won't accept help, and Tether mentioned it multiple times that they offered money and Elkann rejected it. And I don't want them to sell like the majority shares. I want them to sell just enough so they can keep controlling the club, but also there can be some extra money. And I understand people saying, like I said as well, that crypto bros, who knows what happens with them 10 years from now. But then if you think about it, what do you think? They only have money in crypto by now? Like, they're buying stuff left and right. They have investments in buildings and whatnot. It's not just crypto money at this point. So they have billions of dollars, and they are Juve fans. Juventus fans. They should be able to help. And Elkann says no. And I think that's bad for the club. And now at this point, I think he's just saying no because he wants to say no. Because he got pissed, maybe. So yeah, don't sell the entire club, but just sell pieces, bigger pieces.
I don't think he even needs to sell. He just needs to accept money and help at this point, because we're gonna need it. It's as simple as that. We need it. If you want to compete, we need it.
But that means we need to sell. Like, they're not just gonna give money, without anything.
Okay, but you can still give up, or like whatever, or they can keep buying other shares. I don't know, or other people can give up their shares. I have no idea, but they're gonna need to accept some help at one point, because we're not gonna keep up with it. And yes, they're cousins. It's just translation from, well, like the Flemish language to English. It's cousin, period. But it's nephew, cousin. It's the same, but it's cousin. They're cousins. So yeah, like I don't think it's over. I don't think Tether is now going to be okay, whatever. Like, it's not over. In terms of, like, I don't think the club is going to get sold, but they will try again with some other, odd, situation, because we're in a bad place. Somebody like the fair play issue as well. The issue is they're all still FIFA fair play, so all the money coming in doesn't mean we can spend it. Well, you can. There are easy ways around that. Very easy. You put Tether on as a sponsorship. Yeah, City. Like, you think City sponsorship of 80 million euros because they have so many fans? Like, don't make me laugh. Like, they don't. They don't. Yeah, let's see how that. It's not the end. He's not giving up. Nor do I think he's going to sell. He's going to drag on, and like Spalletti's Elkann's only hope is that Spalletti does a good job, takes this club further. In the summer, you get that money in, you get the right signings in, and then start clicking. And then that's the only thing that's going to save Elkann. If we go down, let's say we don't make top four, and you get an UEFA restriction where you can only, let's say, you can only register, you cannot register one player you sign. That is already a problem, going in. Like, if that starts to unfold, basically, then it can get dark for Alcon, because at that point, I think, like, Tether probably is looking at it right now and saying, I hope it kind of starts collapsing a bit more, where the team gets worse, the financial situation gets worse, and then we will come in again with an offer. And at that point, the fan base will be like, oh my God, like, this needs to end right now, accept it, or, whatever. I think that's what they're hoping right now. How crazy it sounds. And I think Alcon is looking at the complete opposite. It needs to slap so we can, get rid of those talk and rumors. Tyler saw we got linked with Fratesi and decided to act quickly. Maybe. That means we lose visit Detroit on our shirt. I'm probably, Detroit will be very pissed. Crazy. Crazy as well. Anyways, people, we're gonna wrap this one up because it's extremely late already over here. So if you haven't liked the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel. What I do have I something planned this week? Nothing. Oh, Wednesday, second episode of the new podcast will be out, and that's about it. Then it's just building up towards Roma, which is a massive game. It could be season defining because we talked about it. If you beat him, you get closer. If not, 7 points. If you lose, top four could be, well, almost over. And if you beat them, there's a favorable run, quote unquote, on paper to go into and, build some momentum as well, going into, well, the big games that are coming up, because there's a week where we play Champions League and Napoli and it's insane. So that's that. Anyways, thanks for watching, Norbert. Thanks for joining, as always. And then we will speak each other soon. Ciao.